Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to L2PS2 episode 19 right here on December 1st. Wow, it is December already. 2014, of course, at the twitch.tv/PlanetSide2 channel. And I am ItZMuRdA, if you're unfamiliar. I've been playing PlanetSide 1 since the beta back in 2003, and PlanetSide 2 since the technical alpha just over 2 years ago. Today is actually the last day that you can purchase the 2-year anniversary bundle in the depot, and I'm gonna hop in game momentarily and I'll show it off again there. If you haven't gotten your hands on it yet, it's also Cyber Monday, so there is a 25% discount for all access members for everything in the depot, including the anniversary bundle. So the L2PS2 show is kind of a infantry training camp for new players and veterans alike, where I go over anything and everything in a normal play session. I try to play all 3 empires. These are my 4 main characters, so I have a good bit of experience playing infantry on all 3 empires, all 6 classes, and I try to share that with you guys and give you some thought process into the decisions that I make and what classes I pick and what fights I pick and things like that. And I also have the chat up over here, so if anybody has any questions throughout the show, I'm always looking at that. I'm trying to read everything and answer everything that I can as well. I'm going to just hop in real quick. I will be playing on Emerald if anybody does want to squad up. I may play multiple empires, I may play 1 empire for the show, I don't know, it's kind of just by the seat of our pants. But if you do want to squad up on Emerald, just let me know in chat, send me a friend request in game, send me a tell in game, whatever, we'll make a squad for sure. So yeah, here's the anniversary bundle. 5 hours and 27 minutes left to purchase it. Discounted from $39.99 station cash down to $29.99 if you are in fact an all access member. And anything in the depot today, you're going to receive a 25% off discount from for this station cash value at least. So definitely make sure you take advantage of that if you haven't already. The bundle itself, if you're unfamiliar, I already own it, but it has a bunch of awesome stuff. Perhaps the best value being the 6-month heroic boost for all of your characters. And that will get patched in at a later date. Right now it's the boost that you get just for the character you buy it on, but they have confirmed that they will be patching it in for other characters as well. And you get armor, camo, shotgun, LMG, knives, horns for your ESF and MBT, and an implant pack for all of your characters. Really cool stuff, honestly, so definitely worth the value. Absolutely. So yeah, as far as PS2 and PS4, that is coming very soon, as I'm sure most of you guys know. I think Smedley had tweeted that they were going to submit for technical beta in mid-December, and Matt Higbee had mentioned during the anniversary stream that at the PSX event this upcoming weekend, December 6th and 7th, there was going to be an actual firm date for once. So we only got to wait another 5 or so days for that, and then we'll all have a date that we can look forward to hopefully getting our hands on the game on PS4 in the very near future. I'm going to just take a look at the fights real quick here, but as I said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in the chat at any time. My map looks like this just because I go into settings and interface and change the colors here. It's just a personal preference sort of thing. I keep my friendlies white or gray and my enemies 2 different shades of red, just for simplicity when I'm switching empires and things like that. Even if it's just a kind of a split-second reaction sort of thing, I think it does help. Fort Drexler looks like a decent fight. I'm trying to look for a defensive fight where we're slightly outnumbered. Might be a little bit more populated than I care for, but it happens to be one of the fights in the reinforcements needed section where you can spawn directly into it, so it isn't anymore because I've been talking for too long. But basically what that means is no matter where you're at, West Highlands is actually maybe another decent example. You can just spawn directly into to these, even cross-continent, so something worth taking a look at if you're looking for fights. Hot Skull, I don't actually work for SOE, so none of my answers are going to be things that you can quote them on, unfortunately. I'm just a dedicated community member. But I don't know exactly what sort of data you're talking about in terms of transferring it. The characters are going to be on separate servers between PSN and PC versions of the game. They've talked about, but not confirmed, whether or not they're going to allow any sort of, you know, transferring of perks, I guess, between your existing PlanetSide account via your station account and your PSN account. I just know things, especially anything relating to commerce, has to function a little bit differently. Going through PSN is a little bit more complex. But I can't give you a firm answer on that, but I'm sure we'll find out a lot more at a PSX conference here in a couple of days. Again, Yazan, I can't speak for SOE in particular, but just from my knowledge, stat padding in terms of, in general, what it pertains to is somehow increasing your stats in an illegitimate way. I guess maybe the most common example is to have a friend on an opposing empire who you just kill and he gets revived, and you kill him again and he gets revived and you kill him again, or you know, you can maybe perhaps exploit it with healing, reviving, resupplying ammo, things like that, where you guys are, you know, off in some far corner of the universe, kind of just exploiting the experience mechanics and not actually participating in legit battles. That's generally what that pertains to, and as such is frowned upon. And they've definitely been doing suspensions and bans for it, so if you were partaking in that, that's why, and I recommend not doing that in the future, because I'm sure you know, multiple offenders or whatnot will get harsher penalties. If you weren't, you're certainly welcome to contact customer support and explain your situation, but don't waste their time if you were. That's a convenient time to run out of ammo. I like you, Dr. Joss. But yeah, Rem, that's kind of exactly what I was talking about with the faction colors. It removes the thought of, oh, am I still on NC, or am I on BS, or am I on TR? At least a little bit, by having the colors. So much so that when I've switched empires and forgot to change my colors, I've been in situations where I've actually started to shoot at a friendly thinking it was an enemy until I got the grief noise. So, definitely think it helps. This is a little awkward. No primary ammo, no medkits, no grenades. Full beamer status right now. Unfortunately, it looks like we destroyed their spawn. Yeah, there's like nobody left here. So I'm gonna hit my instant action button, which is I by default nowadays. Used to be home by default. Another good method of getting around quickly and not having a lot of downtime. Just seeing where that brings you. You can cancel it if you don't like the option, or you can go through with it. Yeah, yes, and that very well may be why Despite, you know, it being all in good fun on your end, it's, you know, still a MMO FPS whereby score, stats, experience, battle rank, and so forth are taken seriously and seen as a method of exploitation for illegitimate gain, I guess would be the best way to put it. So just as a warning then to not partake in that type of activity again. Yeah, I actually like the beamer quite a lot also. Oh boy. So at the moment I'm playing Light Assault, which happens to be my favorite class. But I do try to play all of the classes. Light Assault's kind of just my default, my go-to. I'm not quite sure what the particular base is going to call for because I just spawned into it, or you know, what have you. Some bases in particular. You can see the perks of Light Assault at the moment. Even just working those guys around this shipping container. I think that was a reasonable example. Using a Zenith at the moment, which for whatever reason my advanced laser sight got unattached on in that loadout. Let me go ahead and put a helmet back on. Some of these loadouts are a little picked through. Since I had them, you know, set up for Halloween event and whatnot. Yeah, yes, and there's also the public test server. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but you can download a completely separate client of the game, and you end up with 100,000 cert points on your character ready at BR1, and you can test out all the weapons, all of the empires, and kind of just you know, all sorts of things. And I don't want to say the rules don't apply there because you don't want to like do anything destructive, but you can absolutely just, you know, set up a mock battle with your friend or whatnot. People do lots of scrims and practices and battles on the public test server, so that's something you might want to consider. I'm on Emerald at the moment, Rim. You're more than welcome to hunt or squad up. Yes, indeed. The only reason I'm really using Zenith, to piggyback off of what Josk said, is for the Araxium metal credit. Just working towards that. It's a decent gun, but I'd prefer using the VX67 in place of it, or you know, a gun like the Pulsar C, more at longer range or something along those lines. Did get our primary sunder kind of pushed in there, unfortunately, so a little more inconvenient at the moment. Yeah, no problem, Yeza. Sorry to hear that, man. I'm gonna jump in a... Actually, it might be a decent Artemis situation. Artemis is the VS automatic scout rifle for infiltrators, much like the Stalker on NC and the SOAS-20 on TR. It's really kind of a best-in-class sort of mid-range infiltrator weapon for situations where you find yourself not far enough to snipe. Like, for example, this Sunder you might want to snipe from. But at a mid-range where you want to be able to aim down sights still against targets. It bridges the gap between SMGs and sniper rifles pretty well, I think. Unfortunately, they're rolling with a pretty significant force, so they pushed us right out of that Sunder pretty quickly. Not a huge sniper, but since I mentioned it, I can certainly check out this spawn point as a sniper. I feel like it's a pretty situational role, though, that doesn't provide the most compelling gameplay unless you're in that specific sort of situation. Really want to, usually find places where you can counter snipe other snipers or things of that nature. You're not really going to benefit all that much if you're just trying to, snipe people that are sprinting across the terrain or anything like that. At least he stopped to aim down sights. But in the process, I'm gonna either get killed by that lightning, ran over by that Sunderer, or wardened. Wow, he actually got that shot off before I hit him. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna keep on spawning at that Sunderer. It's kind of a lost cause in terms of whatnot, but revisit the reinforcements needed locations at the moment. Current station looks pretty good to me against, well, it's going to throw me back to Indar X. Not yet. That fight is still going to need to heat up since they're coming from there. It's going to be more of a field fight right now, and I'm not really interested in vehicle combat. But if you were, that'd be a decent place for it. What I'm going to try to do is spawn directly into Hassan. You can spawn into other continents' warp gates by clicking that option there. Yeah, the Vandal's a decent alternative also if you like the semi-auto. I was going to try to instant action to Kern. That's not going to happen, so I'm going to just fly over there real quick. It really depends. I would definitely say that the Vandal's the best semi-auto option if you were going to go that route. Just a matter of which you prefer. Artemis has a little bit more stopping power at close range. Vandal can be a little bit more accurate at mid-range, or precise rather. And yeah, the first generation SMGs, Cyclone, Eridani, and even the Armistice, or especially the Araxium Directive versions of those weapons, are very good alternatives for the mid-range as well. Should hit that guy with Hornets. My extent of vehicle usage is either using an ESF as a taxi as a means of getting me to a base, at which point I will hover spam infantry until I'm about to die and bail out. That's kind of the extent of it anymore, unfortunately. I was more into dogfighting a while back. I really am not anymore. I think there's a lot of frustrating components in that regard. Unfortunately, despite not being the best pilot myself. I'm gonna get greedy here and probably die trying to kill one other guy. See if I can light assault so I can hopefully influence my drop a little bit. Maybe go over to B point or something. Oh, and the Flash, of course. The Flash is my only true vehicle that I really use to the fullest extent, but I still end up playing infantry like 95% of the time. I'm really surprised there's that many people in the B point. Must be like either, if it's not an alpha, it must be like just a platoon of dudes with their motion sensor set down, just gonna defend B with their life. Didn't really expect that at all since we don't have really anybody pushing in on that point, but whatever. Using these air pads defending a tower as light assault's another really good tool that you have available to you. I mean, you can do the same thing as another class of using like safe fall, safe landing implant, but it sacrifices your implant slot among other things. Pushed him back a little bit there. I don't really want to go head to head with the Vanguard without C4. Pick that engine up at least. Nice. Asterisk, baby. Love it. Drifters are pretty, that was interesting. Drifters are pretty interesting. There was a time where I used them a lot more than I do now. If I felt like I was going to be defending a tower or defending a position where I already have the vertical advantage and I'm just going to drift down. Unfortunately, I ran into too many situations where not having the vertical thrust to get back up somewhere was just getting me killed when I shouldn't have been. So I pretty much use the default jump jets. Almost exclusively now, but I do have some drifter loadouts still. Yeah, wrong shirt. I don't have the VSRTR ones yet. I ordered them though. They're just in the mail. In transit. Sorry. C4 is another really useful light assault utility item, but it's again something that I don't really run unless I am equipping it for a specific reason to, you know, kill a tank that's camping my spawn point or, you know, something like that. Just because giving up medkits I think is too huge of a sacrifice most of the time. When if you're just fighting infantry, you're not really going to make a whole lot of use of that C4. Unless there's like a cluster of a bunch of infantry that you're going to drop it on. But definitely tools you want to take advantage of. I just I play light assault kind of pretty aggressively as an infantry versus infantry sort of role. As opposed to the more evasive / anti-vehicle role that it can play certainly quite well in the right situation. Bipods are something that I personally hope are never added to the game. I know this is kind of just like an aside, since you mentioned bipod knife jokingly. But there's two things that I feel passionately against in any first-person shooter. There's a lot of things that I'm like, I wouldn't have done that, but I can deal with it. But there's two things that I am just so passionately against, and the first one's prone, and the second one's bipods. And I think prone is probably a little bit more of an obvious, if not controversial, you know, item. I don't like the, you know, the prone flop onto the ground. I don't like the, you know, people feeling prone to camping with it. The pun really wasn't intended, but whatever. And all of the non-compelling gameplay that it brings with it. But bipod's a little bit more of an interesting one, and I think I kind of grew up hating bipods in games that they were in for some of the very same reasons. Since bipod has historically not been really a wise attachment for anybody to pick unless your sole purpose was to just sit somewhere and you know, be eating your Cheetos with your left hand while aiming with your right hand. And I don't know, I just don't like anything that promotes a very passive or a very campy playstyle. So that's my life story that you didn't need, but since you mentioned the evil word, I just thought I'd say that those are two things that I hope don't make their way into Planetside, and I don't think they will, since it's been 2+ years without them, and anytime they've been mentioned, they've kind of been like, I don't think so. So I'm happy to hear that. But now that we've talked about that for no reason, they are starting to implement a lot of different knife alternatives. There's, what, 6 or so in the game at the moment? These are 5 of them, plus there's the one that I don't have on this character. the Araxium Force Blade from the Force Recon Directive. And more are going to be added, not just for cosmetics in that regard, but you're actually going to be able to equip them and see the visual, so it's not just a split second when you're jabbing somebody. There's going to be knives that you can toggle, a more powerful, slower jab, if you're familiar with the PlanetSide 1 model. So there'll be some interesting things coming to them, but I don't think you're going to see a whole lot of differences in stats for them. Other than that, you're going to have your slow, heavier hitting knife, and you're going to have your normal knife. I think a lot of the differences are going to be cosmetic. That was weird. I kind of like got stuck on that railing a little bit. Here I am being foolishly aggressive. Oh. Yeah, definitely certified cowboy. I've been through a lot of headphones and headsets in my day, and I have to say, far and away, I enjoy the Audio-Technica 8700. It's the best. I've heard really good things about the 8700X, and if I ever need to get a new pair for anything like that, I'd probably pick that up. But I'm very happy with these. He had a shotgun. Yeah, that's me. Play against bots. You bet. I hear that a lot. It's, I mean, it's all relative. I guess there are a lot of inexperienced people in PlanetSide, and that's part of the reason why I try to help folks out. So there's that. And there could certainly be a lot of randomness in who you may be fighting against at any given fight, and their skill level and their strategy and cohesion among the platoon or squads that you're facing up against. But at the same time, there's a certain element of awareness and approach and a whole bunch of things, really. Especially when you're playing Light Assault or Infiltrator, that it's kind of just learned over time, as far as kind of almost a parkour-like gameplay of really utilizing, be it your stealth as Infiltrator or your jump jets as Light Assault, in combination with good usage of the minimap and general situational awareness, to have the upper hand most of the time. And I think that's what I find so attractive about the Light Assault and the Infiltrator classes. In that regard, I really should ADS there. So, take that for what it's worth, but that is one thing that I think, after however many, couple thousand hours in PlanetSide, as mostly a Light Assault or Infiltrator, something that I've gotten pretty good at or pretty comfortable with over time. More than anything else. There's a lot of cut and dry skill in the game, but there's kind of that intellectual skill level as well, which I think is super important. Also known as knowledge, right? Knowledge of the map, knowledge of the classes and weapons and situations that you're in. I don't really think I could get a I don't really think I could get a Fury Flash in there, or a sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. Shotgun Flash. I could maybe kill that max, but it could also backfire significantly. What? Oh, he's got a shotgun. I'm at 25% health, but the Flash is still in good shape. It's first tip of ATV driving. Use your seat swap, pop a med kit, and then switch back while it's still kind of rolling on cruise control. There definitely are... Oh, that was a bad idea. Are they not pursuing? Well, this thing actually still has enough health to keep going, surprisingly. I don't want to hit those mines, though. Oh, was that not a mine? Am I just crazy? What is happening? Oh god. I wonder what's... Getting some like weird hit detection on shots that I expect to kill people that definitely are not. I'm just kind of goofing around. This is the one vehicle that I really truly enjoy. It used to be the Fury. It was more lately the shotgun, despite not being as lucrative as the Fury once was. Makes for some pretty exciting gameplay. If nothing else, entertaining. Oh god, doing freestyle tricks on top of it. These lightnings out here are pretty scary. I don't know what's going on with these mines, but they're a little frightening. That would be actually a really good situation for a Fury, even a nerfed Fury, getting up in there. I wonder how long that's going to stay like that. I guess I could pull one. Ward, the easiest thing to do to answer that would probably be to give you a link. I can provide you with that here in a moment. But if you go to, and I put my, just put my name in chat real quick. If you go to either ItZMuRdA.com or twitch.tv/ItZMuRdA_TV, or if you click on my name in chat and go to the channel and scroll down, it has a full list of my my computer specs, as well as a link to my in-game video settings and whatnot. Aw. Really, dude? Like, what? Was that a friendly harasser or an enemy harasser? Yeah, that was pretty funny, regardless. Got to the party late, though, for the Fury. I think we pretty much pushed them out of here, unfortunately. No, they're still on the other side. Threw those links in there just to help out. I do stream most nights of the week. Monday night I stream here, Sunday night is off for me, but the other 5 nights of the week, most of them I end up streaming just kind of on a you know, individual basis for the week, depending on what's going on that week. But I try to set aside, you know, usually an average of 2 hours a night on those other nights. You can find me at ItZMuRdA.com, or ItZMuRdA_TV is my Twitch username. And if you've enjoyed or are enjoying the show, there's plenty more of that where this came from. So I also do the L2PS2 show right here on the PlanetSide 2 channel every Monday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. along with a slew of other community and dev-driven shows that happen most nights of the week here. I'm going to pop up in this Sunder as Light Assault again. And thanks to anybody who just recently followed my channel. Really appreciate the support. There's a lucky pick on that guy.
Facility is secure. Excellent work.
Wow. There's a lot of NC that just rushed in. There's something to be said, if not cheesy or easy, for that matter, about getting above and behind people. Again, especially about Light Assault and Infill that have an easier time doing that. I don't recommend being that infiltrator that's just, you know, sitting in a corner like this, cloaked, and then, you know, waits for somebody to walk by him so they can shoot him in the back. No, none of that. I hate that, actually. But just strategically positioning yourself to have kind of an innate advantage, or to at least be somewhere where enemies don't expect you to be. A lot of guys up in, this is interesting. Might grab something else, I mean, which kind of comes with time, comes with certs, comes with experience, that you can certainly do is, you know, have as many loadouts as you're comfortable with across all of the various classes kind of at your disposal, so that as needed you can just switch your loadouts if you need to spawn into a different sort of a fight. You know, just depending on how the flow of battle shifts or whatever. Like I just, you know, tried to grab some sticky nades to help clear that building. Didn't really do what I wanted it to do. And if they are in fact still up north by sea, I originally was going to grab an Artemis to help out up there, but it looks like, I don't know if we have cleared them out or not. If you're running infill, you definitely want to be making use of your motion detecting, you know, tool slot item. I tend to run recon detect darts as the default, but motion sensors are, wow, extremely powerful. Can't believe that mag rider flipped over. If you are defending a certain point, like those guys were in the B point earlier or something like that. Yeah, I am, Senort, although I do have a lot of things going on, and it really depends on a lot of variables. I think I'm getting between like 80 and 100 on average here, but I've got all sorts of other things going on right now. Even though I do have a dedicated streaming computer, there's still a lot of things that are running to make the stream production end work. If I was just playing by myself with PlanetSide being the only process running, I'd probably be much closer to a more stable 120 FPS most of the time. But it also really depends on the battle and how many players are nearby. PlanetSide's really kind of stressful on the hardware for that reason, that you're just having hundreds of players all in one area, and somewhat of an open world that can fit thousands of players in it. So you don't really see that in a typical FPS that still has really good graphics fidelity and yeah. For medic, I use the default in terms of the regen over the regen field. You could kind of, if you were playing with an outfit or some friends, you had it, you know, kind of worked out where the regen device was especially helpful to you guys. It could certainly be a benefit, but just kind of for an all-purpose sorts of thing, I definitely prefer the heal. It's something you can pop down in combat, kind of like a heavy assault shield if you need to, and it not be a detriment. as opposed to having to actually place a field on the ground. So it helps the solo medic a lot more, I think, whereas the regen field is more of a group utility, while the AoE heal still helps your group quite significantly. There's some more examples of Artemis. A lot of guys pushing in on me. I'm just trying to play the map to the best of my ability here, to see where these guys are coming from. Got a couple more coming in through here at the moment. Only so much you can do in that situation. No, it's completely valid, Snort. The game is definitely quite demanding on resources. They have had a few optimization patches last year, though, which have certainly helped significantly, made some lower end machines run. Why is Moobot mad at you, buddy? Oh. So there are giveaways, if you're familiar with L2PS2. This is episode 19, I can't believe it already. Wow, that time flies. I usually give away at least one of the polar bear decal that you can get in-game each week right here, and I'm going to do one of those giveaways momentarily, so feel free to get your redeem a code field open on planetside2.com or whatever. You'll have to type the code in. It's first come, first serve, just because they're one-time use codes. And then I will also give away an NS11 CP carbine probably just a few minutes later before the end of the show. I have a few more codes for those left, so try to do 2 giveaways a week for you guys right here, but I'll also be doing giveaways right around the holidays and for other things. Moving in on 5,000 followers on my personal channel as well, so at 5,000 I'm sure we'll do some rather large giveaways as well as a thank you for everybody's support. So always love to give back when I can, and thanks to SOE for helping to provide at least the items to give away on this show. I'm going to go ahead and put the polar bear code in chat. It's going to be in the bottom ticker of the screen right now. Working on getting our favorite BB decal and making that a reality in game as well. That would just be awesome, and I know a lot of people in the past were like, hey, when are we going to be able to purchase a BB decal or whatever, so hopefully that'll be a reality in the near future. I've also given away, polar bear decals and things like that in the past for charity supporters during the Extra Life Marathon, as well as anybody who subscribes to my Twitch channel. That's just kind of part of the added perks, as well as a way for me to say thanks for your support. So if you don't receive one here, there definitely are other ways to get them. But congrats to whomever got it anyway. Baron, the easy answer to that question is just because I have a 1-hour time slot here on the PlanetSide 2 channel each week, and I want to fill as much of it as possible with pure gameplay and helping people out and answering questions, interacting with the chat and whatnot. And it's a little bit more complicated to set up some sort of a raffle or randomizer, have everybody that wants to participate type something in chat, give people time to enter, and then do the roll, and then have time to see if that person was AFK or if they really wanted, or you know what I'm saying. So while that is truly probably the most random way of doing things, I think in terms of time and efficiency on this show, I try to put it on screen, which I know is still not perfect for everybody, depending on if you're tuning in from mobile, if you're what your connection looks like and whatnot. But at least it weeds out the ability for bots or other sorts of illegitimate means to grab it straight out of chat as text. So that's the long-winded answer to your question. But on this channel, on this show, I do my giveaways like that. It's the same way Command Center used to do it, if you're familiar with that. And I picked it up just because Command Center was really the only time I ever won giveaways, because I can actually type 120 words a minute, as opposed to I'm not gonna have a script or a bot or whatever, or maybe I'm just bad at copy pasting. Also, I don't know. So I had a, you know, if something is not, you know, completely automatically generated as random through like a random number generator or something like that, I always had the best success with doing the on-screen retype the code sort of method. So. But that being said, I do try to do giveaways with the randomizer on my own channel anytime that I do it, because I can dedicate a little bit more time set aside to do that. So anytime I do giveaways on my channel, whether it's polar bear decals, station cash, t-shirts, dog tags, hats, things like that, and I've given away all of the above, it's always, or has almost always been with an actual randomizer, where we take some time and, you know, try to pick a winner as fairly as possible, and then I send him a private message with the information. So yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for your interest.
You are better than this. Show them.
Yeah, I mean, shy of changing your sensitivity, Senor, which I wouldn't recommend doing unless you feel like your sensitivity is out of whack and needs adjusting. It's really kind of hard to say. It's just a, you know, something that comes with time, comes with practice, and, you know, facing up against people who have a faster strafe, ADS strafe multiplier on their weapon, like an Orion or an SV88, you know, VS heavies in particular, I think are kind of a dead giveaway that they might be able to strafe faster than other targets when aiming down sights. It's always going to be a little bit more difficult to stay on target. They did tone down warping and strafing and whatnot from what it was, so I don't find it to be as troublesome anymore. I think I'm just kind of used to that. I also am AD strafing, so kind of get into a rhythm of you're strafing, he's strafing, you're compensating for recoil, things like that. And it's just, you know, something that's more of a feel than like a mechanical, here, do this differently and you'll be more successful. So it's kind of a shitty answer, I'm sorry, but nothing that I can think of off the top of my head that's like a quick and easy. Yeah, so that's my channel, where I stream most of the other nights of the week. I've been streaming PlanetSide 2, geez, almost every day, probably like, I don't know, almost 300 days out of the year, since March of last year, so that's a year and 9 months now. So it's definitely been fun. I'm keeping on. Did I not get in yet, or am I delusional right now? I was trying to get back onto Endar real quick. I know there's only 12 minutes left on the show. Time really does fly in the 2-hour format here. And I could, okay, could spawn at Ziggurat, or I guess I could warp. Thanks again for the follows, guys. I really do appreciate it. At 5,000 followers on my channel, I'll be doing probably a pretty substantial giveaway. I'll try to include some station cash, some physical items, you know, either in the form of hat, t-shirt, dog tag, or otherwise, as well as maybe some digital in-game items. Really, whatever I can dig up for that. 5,000 followers is kind of a pretty decent milestone. So. I'll definitely be doing that, and then I'll probably do some sort of giveaway for Christmas too. I believe I gave away a t-shirt and some dog tags last Christmas, so I'll be doing something around that time as well. And all you really need to do is be a follower of the stream and be present for the giveaway. Nothing too crazy otherwise. Just trying to give back. I will be giving away the NS11 CP, which, yeah, there you go. the platinum version of the carbine. It's a really versatile carbine that you can do a whole lot with. You can kind of outfit it to be close range or long range, depending on the situation that you're in and the attachments that you throw on it. I was hoping that was going to be more effective, dropping the Hornets and then the PPA, but no such luck. Hey, how's it going, man? Thanks for being so diligent in favoriting and retweeting my tweets, by the way. I didn't definitely notice that. Wow, I should have grabbed some ammo first before I did this. 6 bullets, that's a great idea. One place that happens to be really good in these sorts of situations is right here, because you can usually shoot a whole bunch of people in the back, but if I have 1 bullet, I'm gonna just try to see if I can sneaky snake my way around and find an enemy ammo pack that I can fill up on. Because you very much, you can't see them on the map, but you can see them on your HUD, and you very much can refill your ammo at them. And I'm sure there are some nearby, somewhere in this tower. I'm just getting a little bit risky here, trying to find one. There's one. Figured they are off and around turrets. Oh wow, and it despawned. Nice. Because engineers are often repairing them and they'll drop one right there. Waited too long on that. Starting and ending the stream with some very odd beamer play, interestingly enough. Yeah, I'm giving away the NS11CP. Probably here in just a couple minutes. There's only a couple minutes left on the show, so maybe after this death, I guess, is a good time. I'll go ahead and put up the code while I'm respawning, and I'll even respawn with an NS11CP for good measure. Gotta pimp the gun that I'm giving away. I actually purchased the gold and black versions of it today on the Cyber Monday sale, because I'm sure I'll be looking to Araxium new carbines at some point soon. Being a little bit more conservative than I normally would because I'm running a beamer right now. Still having surprisingly more trouble finding enemy ammo than I thought I would. Got an easy pick there. Saw that he was injured. It's another thing to look out for, especially if you play on high graphics. When you see somebody's shield flicker, they're generally at or below half health. Yeah, I mean that's totally true. You could in fact spam "I need ammo." Doesn't hurt other than the voice call out, which is probably not that big of a deal. But we took the base anyway, so such is life as far as that goes. It's probably a decent stopping point. We did pretty decent session. 52 minutes, 124 and 22. A great start and a great end with the beamer. So that's interesting to say the least. Good coincidence. I'm going to go ahead and actually just hop into the character screen, and I will give away the NS11CP. I'll play with one next week, since that's just how that ended up. Thought I was going to die much sooner with my beamer. But I will be giving away another one next week, so if you don't get this one, no worries. But I'm going to go ahead and put the code in chat right now. There it is. And I apologize for still not having a more updated version of the schedule for the other streams here, but I will paste the one that I have, the crudely photoshopped version of the stream schedule, because I don't think a new final one has been purchased yet, or posted yet. So, congrats on the giveaways. Yeah, pro tip: you don't actually have to type the dashes. It helps in this sort of setting. And I'm going to go ahead and hop into the schedule screen right here. I hesitate to say that all of these shows are happening each week, because I know that they aren't necessarily anymore. There's been some reorganizing of things. Work in Progress is still on, at least occasionally. The Higby Please is definitely on when there's content to show off that's upcoming in a patch. A lot of, if not most of, the community-driven shows, which are all the rest on there, are still on. The Inside the Player Studio that used to be with Trammell on Monday nights, right before this show, has been... I don't know if it has a set schedule or not, but they have run it a few times since then, just kind of on off days and things like that, on the SOE official channel, as opposed to being PlanetSide specific. So I will see if I can get a more updated schedule, but just to give you an idea, most of these shows are still going on. I don't think Kudo is. I know you guys are talking about it in chat right now. I don't think Kudo's doing his show anymore on Tuesdays. At least I haven't seen it the last few times I've looked for it. I know he's been streaming on Hitbox and things like that. Question mark. But anyway, that's what the list looks like, and that's where most of the shows are still happening. And of course, occasionally there are other things going on. My stream is also happening most of these nights, Tuesday through Saturday, the night that I'm not on here, other than Sunday. That was really kind of a convoluted sentence. But over at ItZMuRdA.com, I try to stream most of the time as well. So if you're looking for something to watch, check out the PlanetSide 2 channel for any of these shows, or join me on my channel, ItZMuRdA_TV, for any of my normal streams. Appreciate it either way. Spread the word. PSX conference coming up December 6th and 7th here. We're going to learn a lot more about PS2 and PS4 and when we can expect to actually get our hands on playing it from our home consoles. So that's really exciting, and something I definitely look forward to. As soon as I have any of that information, as well as any info, I am always tweeting it out, posting it on Facebook, posting it on Google+, all the social media. You can find links to that from my stream if you scroll down below the page if you're interested in following along. I do really appreciate it. Again, Cyber Monday still going on here for a couple hours. There's a few hours to buy the anniversary bundle. If you are a in-game member, it is 25% off, and you can purchase it directly in the depot for $29.99 station cash. Yeah, Farmers is coming back, absolutely, for sure. This week, as Dopey had mentioned, Farmers League. Be sure to tune into that. What is it, the 4th, the 9th, and the 13th, if I'm correct? Remind me if I'm not, but I think I am. On the 3 dates of the playoff matches at twitch.tv/PS2 Farmers. It's always a lot of fun. I'll be playing with Future Crew during their match days. And I definitely recommend you guys tune into that if you like infantry gameplay or competitive gameplay and things like that. Dopey did a really awesome job with the website, so you can check that out too at ps2farmers.com. Anywho, that's about all the time we have. I guess you don't need to be looking at this anymore. I can pop back in. Hello, goodbye. That's about all the time we have for tonight. But thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me. Congrats on the giveaway items. We'll have more of those right here next week, Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern. And you can find me streaming throughout the rest of the week on my channel, or tune into any of those shows that I put up in the schedule there. It's December already. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. and bought a lot of stuff on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And happy holidays to everybody. I will see you guys around right here on Twitch. Have a good one. Thanks again for tuning in. Take care, everybody.